Sometimes it's not about what happens at the beginning or the end. Sometimes it's those things that happen in between. Hi everyone, I'm Jacob. I am the one and only, accept no substitutes, CowHatLibrarian. And I was excited to hear that Erin Hicks had released a new graphic novel. I've read a few of her other ones, including Pumpkinheads that she wrote with Rainbow Rowell, and I've liked her work. She has a really realistic style that tells really great teenage stories in graphic novel form. And so I was thrilled to see this one. I put a hold on it as soon as I found it in my local library's catalog, and it is The Inbetweeners. As our story starts, Ash and Sloane are sisters. They love drawing, they love animation, and they have landed something incredible, an opportunity to attend an animation school for part of their summer vacation. And to make things even better, it's being taught by some legendary figures in the world of animation, including Douglas Fry, who animated some incredible movies that they are big fans of. And Ash and Sloane can't wait. Well, sort of. Ash is chomping at the bit. She cannot wait to get started. She cannot wait to find her way around the school. She cannot wait to make new friends and everything else there. And Sloane is looking forward to going, but she knows how this goes, that Ash always surrounds herself with new friends and fits in so well, so easily, and Sloane's left on sort of the periphery, and she's not sure about this whole thing. And so they go to the school, and they meet Douglas Fry early on. Well, he's looking at some old art of his that was posted on a school bulletin board that he sort of brushes off as, you know, that's the stuff he made before he did anything consequential. But there are other animators there too that worked for Disney and other companies, and a woman named Miss Sato, who works for the National Film Board of Canada making animations, and it turns out was nominated for an Oscar for her first animation. So there are some really talented instructors, and Ash and Sloane get to work. And the bloom falls off the rose pretty quick, especially for Ash, because she was so hyped for this, so sure this was where she was supposed to be. And things aren't quite working out that way. Her animation is sort of brushed off by Douglas Fry as being kind of stiff and not that great. And meanwhile, he's also brushing off the work of Nisha, a really talented student, to praise one of the boys in class who did fine. But it's very clear that his opinion of their work is based on his own misogyny. He talks about how great this animation is until he sees that a woman did it. And then it's fine, and he moves on to talk about a different animation done by one of the boys in the class and asks how he got so good. And this pattern continues. Ash keeps having things fall short of where she feels they should be. Sloane starts making friends with Nisha and with a boy named Cameron, who's really into drawing backgrounds, but not much else. And Ash keeps feeling like she's falling further and further behind. Their second attempt at animating a flour sack in a creative way also didn't work out as well for Ash as she wanted, and she's left kind of in the lurch by that instructor. Douglas Fry is not encouraging, he's not helpful. He sort of says that, well, animation is for people who it's meant to be for and who are going to give everything they've got to it, and some people just really aren't cut out for it. They might be okay artists, but they might not be able to make it as animators. And this devastates Ash because she's lived her whole life for this moment. Sloane, on the other hand, brushes it off more easily. But it feels like the tables have been turned for the two of them, because Sloane is the one with the friends, and Sloane is the one managing fine with things and getting her expectations in line with the reality of what's happening there, while Ash is struggling. Anyway, as the course goes on, they have to make a big final project, and the four of them, Ash, Sloane, Nisha, and Cameron, work together in a group. And they come up with something very, very different. The other animators, largely boys, come up with a lot of crude animations about dogs farting and the like. And people laugh at them, and they're fine. But Ash and Sloane and their friends come up with something moving and heartfelt about these small creatures who sing to raise a flower. And when it gets windy and the flower's old and it falls over and dies, they're really, really sad about it. But then they bring themselves together and start singing again and start raising a new flower from it. And it's sweet and heartfelt, and I could see an animation like that actually getting a lot of attention. And the boys sort of blow it off and call it boring until they're shot down really, really quickly by the group members, who basically say, seriously, we sat here and watched your farting dogs in quiet, you can watch ours and be quiet about it. And as the whole story wraps up, the class has ended, Ash and Sloane are feeling better about things, not sure if they still want to do exactly what they thought they would all along, but feeling better about how that time at the college went. And they run into Douglas Fry again. He talks about his time in animation school and hating all the instructors who didn't give people encouragement, and he promised himself that he would always encourage those slower students and make them feel better about themselves and put them on the path to greatness, and he thinks he's done a good job with that. And Ash and Sloane somehow avoid calling him out to his face and just leave behind a drawing of a dog farting on his artwork. I liked it. I already liked Faith Erin Hicks's work, but I really, really liked this one. It was a great story about friendship and dreams and what to do when things don't come out quite the way you think they will. In a lot of ways, it's a coming of age story for Ash as she navigates the difference between her dreams and reality. And it's a really, really good one, seeing her fall and, with the help of her sister and her friends, pick herself up again and realize that, you know what, the world's going to be full of jerks like Douglas Fry, but she can overcome them and she can make the type of art she wants to make. And that's phenomenal. Seeing Sloane go from being worried about this thing and not sure and feeling like she's going to be on the outside of things to being really the core of their group of friends and finding how to take joy in her own art, even if she doesn't necessarily want to do the whole big budget animation thing in the end. That was great too. It was a 1-2 punch of wonderful, well-developed characters who each took their own journey. And I really, really liked it. I like that, like, this is intended, I think, for a teen audience, but I like the fact that for this particular graphic novel, Hicks just left the romance side out. It's all about them and their art and their school and their friendships, and it didn't need to be cluttered up with potential romances and crushes and other things. Hicks writes that stuff well in her other works, but I think this story stood alone well without it, and I'm glad she didn't try to shoehorn it in. The art style is classic Hicks. Lots of very, very expressive drawings of characters, and some really, really colorful moments, especially when the kids are watching Kiki's Delivery Service for the first time and their reactions to it. And the artwork's a treat. You can always tell a Faith Erin Hicks book by how she draws the characters' cheeks and the just below their eyes. Always lots of lines. They're always making the characters look like they're subtly fretting about something or not quite as happy as they could be. It's a distinct, unique style, and Hicks is very, very effective with it. I like this. Flat out, I liked it. I recommend it. If you're into graphic novels, you'll like it. If you're into Faith Erin Hicks, you'll like it. If you're into stories about coming of age stuff and people striving for their dreams in a creative field. You'll like it. I recommend it. Go borrow it from your public library. While I'm on that topic, if you use and appreciate the services offered by your public library, why not take just 1 minute and tell the powers that be exactly that? Tell your mayor, tell a council member, tell your MP or MLA that you use and appreciate the services offered by your public library. We're at a time where some public libraries are having trouble finding sustainable funding to continue improving the materials, programs, and services they offer, and a few good words in the right ears might make a world of difference. If by some chance you're a library staff member, don't forget, watching my videos counts as professional development time. With that, thanks for listening to me talk about this one from beginning to end and all the in-betweens. By all means, please like, please subscribe, and please check back and see what else I have to talk about from the CowHat Library. Thank you. Bye now.